Hello, hello. I think I am being live. Good evening, Berico. Or Berico. Berico. You spelled your name very strangely. What does it mean? So it's time for another Q&A. And sorry, I was fuffing around with the camera because I look like a proper ghost. I don't know what's up with my lighting. It seems like my camera changing from day to day. One day I have like purple hair, and the next time it's super red, and now I'm just washed out and look like a ghost. So there are things going on here that I don't really know what to do about. So today I'm gonna be the ghost. I could get the light down, but I think that's gonna be very, very dark. Maybe. I have to stand like close to the camera. Okay, you're just gonna have to live with my shit lighting today. I don't seem to be able to get it right. And that's fine. So I forgot to post yesterday, so I don't think there are any questions on in the Facebook group for me to talk about before. So get your questions in so that I have something to answer. And meanwhile, I'm going to announce the new challenge. So we are starting a new challenge on Monday next week. I'm a little bit delayed with getting it out because I have had to move my whole like website, everything over to another platform. And you know me and technical stuff. When I'm doing technical stuff, everything that can go wrong is gonna go wrong. So it has taken me a few days longer than I anticipated. But I think as of like 5 minutes ago, the proper link, pimjohnson.com/challenge, is actually working. So if you want to take part of the next challenge, go and sign up there. I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time. So I keep changing these challenges up. I got a lot of feedback last time. Mostly it was pretty much 99% super positive, and there's just one thing that I needed to change for me, and that's I give everyone personal feedback in written form, and it took me hours per day to do this. And I cannot do that and take care of myself and my clients at the same time. So this time, how I'm going to do it is that you're still going to get the homework, you're still going to get the exercises that you need to do to get there. And I want to give you a chance of getting my personal help still. So this is how I'm going to do it this time. We are going to have a welcome party again because that was a lot of fun, and we're going to have a success party at the end because that was also a lot of fun. I really like those. So that's going to happen on Zoom. And every day when I'm going live, this time I'm going to mix it up with the times so that several different time zones can get the opportunity to attend live. And the reason I'm doing that is because after the live, I want you to bring your homework, and I'm going to give you feedback during that session so that everyone who wants the feedback can just come and get the feedback there. I'm not going to be doing the written stuff to the extent that I've done it because it's not sustainable for me, especially not when we have like 70 people in the challenge. So this is how I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to put up a call schedule for when I'm going to do the live training. The trainings are going to be very short, so if that's all you want, then you can watch them. You can watch them on replay still. I'm still going to put them up in the Facebook group after, or you can just come and watch that and then leave if you want to. But there will be an opportunity for anyone who wants to ask me questions, get some coaching, get feedback on your homework, whatever you need. Because I don't want my challenges to become, the cookie cutter challenge where you are being left to your own, just do it on your own. And I'm not saying that you can't do it on your own, but to be honest, I'm a coach. That's what I do. I help people get results, and I help them get them much, much quicker. And I know that if I leave you to do it on your own, you may or may not do it, and you're not going to be as motivated, and you're going to have to go through a lot of more failures. So that's why I want to be there, and I want to make sure that everyone gets the help that they need during the challenge. So if you want to take part of that, pimjohnson.com/challenge should be up. There's a link in the description as well if you want to take part. Now, let's see if we have any questions. You should be able to hear. My microphone is on. Okay. So, can you guys hear me? Everyone else? No one else has said anything. Yeah, well, Patricia definitely can hear me because she says technology gives me anxiety. So she must have heard what I said. Otherwise, yeah, you know what? The last last night now, I actually slept for 7.5 hours, but the previous 3 nights I have had between 4 and 5 hours of sleep and no freaking naps because I've been so stressed about this bloody technology and getting it up working. And I think I was just so exhausted last night that I fell asleep anyway. Mm. Yes, I heard about this limbic system. Interesting. Yeah, that's a really interesting project. So it's Carnivore Lion and Annabelle from Annabelle's Awareness. And they have invited me to come and help teach some classes in there. So this is going to be awesome. Apparently, there is a huge gap in the market here. This is something that is so needed, and there are people doing it, but they're charging like $500 a month for a class every other week. This is going to be like the limbic system Netflix. They're going to be at least 4 classes a week to start with that you can choose from. You can take 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up to you how many you want to attend. And you get to see the replays. And there's going to be some buddy up systems. You're going to get the community. You're going to get the support. And what it does is this is the perfect place for anyone who feels like I'm eating right, but I can't really get rid of whatever your condition is. So if that is like a gut dysbiosis or just an like a stress response in your body that you can get rid of, whatever. So it's like retraining your brain, and it's exactly what I'm doing with the food. It's the same thing. It's just that I didn't know that it was called limbic training. I didn't have a name for it. So that's what I've been doing. That's why they were like, yeah, you would be perfect for this. So that's quite funny. They knew that I would be perfect for it. I had no clue what it was to start with. Now I know, and I'm like, yeah, this is the shit. This is how you retrain your brain. And when you retrain your brain to just like calm the nervous system down, you can allow yourself to heal because that's where you can get rid of the inflammation and you can just give your like reset your body and your brain signals and just get rid of those old neural pathways that you have created that creates the stress response in your body. So that would be super cool. Uh, I think you asked Patricia that. So let's see. Wish I could contribute anything useful today, but my last weekend was pretty fucked up. My family asked me if I was in a starvation cult. Had to backpedal on my beliefs to remain in to remain neutrality. Oh my god, that's so funny. Thank you, Patty. Half of you who are watching have not liked the stream. Why not? If you dislike the stream, A, why are you still here? And B, just put the thumbs down. I don't give a shit. Just press something. Press a thumb. Yeah, okay. Other people can hear me. I figured that. Tammy can hear me and she's on Facebook as well, so all good. If you did the challenge before, can you join again? Absolutely. Yeah, of course you can. It doesn't matter. And this is going to be, I mean, we're still going to cover the same material because I'm still teaching the same stuff, but this challenge is just going to be so different. And this is going to be like a trial run for this kind of format. And I've had to, because I've been quite busy, I've had to remove. I already have the videos, but I'm going to need to re-record them if I'm going to change the format. So there won't be any like pre-challenge training. I might do a few other things that are a little bit quicker for me to do in the Facebook group before we actually get started. But I want this to be all about you getting the personal help that you need, because I want to focus on those of you who are there, who want my help, and I want to help you. So if you show up for the training and you're asking for help, I'm going to give you the help. If you just want to hang back, you want to do the challenge on your own, you just want to watch the replays, good, do that. But I'm not going to help you excessively because you don't even need that. You don't even want it. So if you just want to hang back and be like a background consumer, you can do that. But I can tell you that you're not going to get as much out of the challenge or be as likely to succeed with it if you're not actively engaging in it. That's going to be the difference. Right. Message me next time. I never sleep. Who did you say that to? I agree. Lots of rip-off fuckers. I am looking forward to it. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the. I'm trying to find a balance. That's one of the most appreciative feedback I got is like people really appreciate that I am there and I'm giving so much of myself, but there has to be a limit to how much I can give of myself because I'm going to burn myself out. And if I burn myself out, I'm not going to be able to show up at all. So we don't want that because that's not serving you and it's not serving me. Um, I can help you with IT. Well, I wish you had said that earlier. Maybe we should talk later, Tracy. Yeah, exactly. Doing it repeatedly gives you a deeper experience each time. Absolutely. You got it. Perfect. I'm glad you figured it out. Dusters for you, Miss Pagan. Look, a question. I'm sure you said so before, but I missed it. When is the limbic training with Carnivore Lion happening? Okay, so this is it's not a one thing. It's like a monthly subscription, and they're going to offer like the first month for free. I'm not sure if the website is up and running. Well, the website is there, but I'm not sure if you can sign up yet. So it will it's scheduled to start on the 1st of March. I'm going to run some sessions, and I think mine is going to be on the 5th or 6th or whatever. Let me see. Yeah, so 6th. Yeah. So I'm going to do it every Monday for you US people, Tuesday for me. So Monday evenings at some point. What was the question? So yeah, that will start in March, and I will make sure to advertise it in the group. I might send an email about it as well if you're on my email list. That's one of the reasons that I'm moving everything because my email list has about 65% deliverability. And it's telling me that a lot of you people, if you don't get my weekly emails with, hey, here's my podcast coming out, if you don't get that email anymore, it's because you have had a hard bounce on your email, or for some reason they have decided that your email is not going to get it. And it's really frustrating for me because I know that some of you people, when I'm looking through the email list, I know some of you people are really active. You had that email address for years because you have been with me for a long time. Some of you are past clients. It's bonkers. So hopefully everything is gonna work properly. I'm just gonna have to go very slowly with moving everyone on the email list so that the system doesn't think that I'm spamming people because that can happen. Yeah. Terry Ann, I'm signing up again, still working on the first one. Yes. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're still working on the first one, you can come fine tune because you will always find something new new realizations and new aha moments that you're going to have. So it's perfect. Tracy, you need to sleep, but yes, I will message you. Thank you. Annabelle has asked me to be an affiliate and said Limbic program. I am interested. That's super cool. Good. Hi, Kent. I hope you are having a great day too. Mm. How is it hanging, Patty? Long and low. I'm not even gonna ask. Oh my god. Here's a question from Jonathan. I have shaved most of my hair off, leaving the top twirly bit loose. Will King Edward Yellow be mad? You know, I should have invited him. I forgot to do that. And I might actually do it. You know, I'm gonna be on Carnivore Revolution's podcast in a few days. I might have to get Ted because he has the really cute apron. He is so cute in that apron that I need to ask him if he wants to come and do guesting with me. Don't say ask him. I'm too scared. No, I'm not going to ask him. He doesn't really talk to me. He's a little bit of a dick, to be fair. Does cortisol play a role in how severe cravings we have? It can do, absolutely. For some people, cortisol can just increase your cravings because it increases your need. I mean, the cortisol is part of the whole process, like the fight or flight process. So when you are releasing a lot of cortisols, there is a perceived need of increased blood sugar. So if you're not able to get that up to the level that you need it, then you're going to have more cravings, and especially for carbs. But for some people, when they are very stressed, it just turns the cravings off instead because they already have high blood sugar, which signals that you don't need more of it. And we don't really have an appetite when we're in that space because we are in fight or flight. So we need to be able to run very quickly and we're not going to be able to digest things properly. So it can turn both ways depending on like how often you do this, how much it affects you, etc. Oh, thank you, Barbara. I can't see the sticker, but I'm assuming that it's like a pear of some kind doing some stupid shit. Did you see how I look like just like a pear? Um, Thank you very much. Love you, girl. Barbara is like, she's one of my absolute best clients ever. She is so focused on what she needs to do and so motivated to get to her goal. And I'm not saying that she hasn't had one or two struggles along the way because everyone does, and some mind drama, but she just keeps coming back to it. She just keeps trusting the process that this is going to work, and she's pretty much there. Everyone needs to keep doing what we've been doing. So I'm not saying she can just relax about it and never think about it again. But yeah, I'm so proud of you, girl. Thank you. If you can even understand. But Barbara only speaks Italian, so she usually has to come and watch things on replay, so she gets the captions, the subtitles. It's funny. Oh no, you definitely haven't failed a challenge because you're repeating it. It's like with everything. I mean, I keep doing the same things over and over again. We need to do the same things over and over again, otherwise we will not teach our brains that this is how we should be doing it. And you could keep practicing on your own, but you know, the challenge is there, it's free. You can just join and I'll help you as much as I can. Then you get extra practice and extra motivation and extra focus on it for a while, and then you just go on and keep practicing on your own. Or you do what Barbara did and you just join me in the group. Get the help you need for 12 weeks. I was going to say 12 months, but it's not 12 weeks. And we solidify those results and make sure that you don't really have to go through this process again because you're going to do it for 12 weeks and then you have rewired your brain. So, this is the neuroplasticity or the limbic training. We are changing neural pathways so that your new behavior is to not eat carbs or not do a certain behavior, and then you will do that for life. It's now something that you go to automatically. We don't have to worry so much about the old pathway. The old pathway would still be there, like the root of it would still be there, and it might come up in very stressful situations, but most of the time you won't even have to think about it, which is super sweet. I have that problem with YouTube on Nephilim account on this same Gmail. I can't comment either Facebook or YouTube on that account. Wow. That's really, really interesting. So it's literally banning certain names and not the emails. That's weird. So what have you been posting? Have you been conspiracy theorizing? um, yeah, the only way he fell is if he quit. I saw him. He's adorable. Don't tell him I said he's adorable. No, I won't tell him. But yeah, they made that apron for little teeth. It's amazing. I think it's so cool. I'm not impressed at all by the normal apron. I'm impressed by the teddy bear apron. I'm such a child. Oh my god. What have you said of me about me? Thank you. What if I said you were a dickhead? You wouldn't know. Although I love you, so I wouldn't. Off the bean for 4 weeks now. Not really missing it. It's cut down my consumption of cream and I have a slight reduction of my blood glucose. I'm going to continue to see if it affects my A1C. Yeah. And that's a really good place to come from. Like, be curious about it. When you're curious, like, what's going to happen to my A1C if I continue doing this? That's really freaking motivating. That was what I was doing like last year. I needed to be curious in the beginning when I was like, okay, I'm not going to have any exceptions. I'm just not going to touch sugar for a year. I'm like, I really want to see what happens when I eat sugar. And I just kept thinking that all over and over again and kept selling myself on the idea that it was going to be fun and interesting to see what would happen after a year without sugar. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for the answer again. I will also be joining the next challenge. Yes, good. I am looking forward to seeing you there. And do make sure you come to the live calls. I have missed seeing you in the Zoom Hangouts, I must say. Good. I'm so glad you're going to join. Um, let's see. Oh no, Jonathan has to rest his old body. See ya, if you're still here. Lol, worst case, I can get a gut transplant of someone without these food-related issues. Heard about field of psychobiotica in various podcasts. Interesting. I don't know much about that, but yeah, I know you didn't ask me a question. I'm just like, psychobiotica, that sounds very interesting. That might be something to for me to forward to the carnivore lion. Sounds like something that might be. I wonder if we can do this. Yeah, I look a little bit less pale. Something that could maybe be used together with limbic system training. I'm a bit like Bart in that aspect. I've never had a problem doing cold turkey on coffee. I never get any withdrawal symptoms. I think you got him wrong. Last time he was quitting coffee, he's like he got kidney pain and headaches and all the shit, and then he started for a few days, and then he quit again, and they happened again, and then he drank a little bit of coffee, and then he quit again, and now it seems to be fine. So I wouldn't say he's not having any symptoms. But sometimes he has quit and there has been no symptoms, but not definitely not last time. Barbara knows that you could not possibly have insulted her. No. This is true. Good evening, fellow addicts, misfits, and nymphomaniacs. Good evening, Alex. How are you doing? Alex is now composing music, which is cool. And we talked about this like 3 years ago now, something. And he couldn't get his thumb out to do it, so I'm really glad he's doing it now. I remember that in a day I can read in Italian what you said. Attention! Yes. Yeah, Alex got a new name. Alessandro. Good. Oh, Jesus. Patty, you don't speak Italian, do you? I do not understand what you say. Ah, it's Google Translate. I see. Funny. Right, so you guys just speak Italian amongst yourselves, and I'll just stand here and be really awkward because I have no clue what you're saying. I could put that into Google Translate, I suppose. But meanwhile, because there are no more questions, get your questions in. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Yes, Google does. Right, so I don't know what else I can tell you. I've told you about the challenge. We did touch a little bit on the limbic system training. I'm going to get more information about that once I know that there is a way for you to sign up, etc. As I said, they're going to offer the first month for free, so you can just come and try it out. And it's going to be $75 per month following that, versus the 500 you have to pay for other places doing the same thing, which is a lot of money for just 2 classes a month and a workbook or something like that. So it's going to be super high value and affordable for anyone who actually wants to do that. So really consider that if you have some problems. And also, if you want to work with me, but you're like, I really can't afford joining the group program or whatever, if you think you can get there most of the way, I'm going to be there. I'm going to teach stuff. You can ask me stuff. But I'm going to have different themes. So I'm not always going to talk about like food addiction necessarily. That's going to be part of it, but I'm also going to be talking about things like how to change the way you're thinking, like how to overcome adversity, because a lot of us have a lot of negative brain patterns that we don't seem to be able to get out of. And it's just a matter of thinking on a higher level and actively choosing to think different thoughts. And I'll just teach you how to do that. Well, thank you, Master Chief, to help me keep the lights on a few more hours. Yeah, I have too much light, don't I? Maybe I should like do this. Eventually, my background is going to disappear because the background needs more light, but I don't need more light. And they're not even right on my face, so it's kind of interesting how some days it seems to be fine, and I'm not even moving shit around. Oh, I just have to stand closer to the desk, like that. I have so much drama about these lights today. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single dollar that comes my way. You know, people on YouTube or most coaches, we're working very, very freaking hard. And it's not the easy way to make money necessarily and make a living, but we get to do what we really enjoy doing. So it's worth it. So we do appreciate everything that you can do. And if you don't have any money, you can just like share our material. If you think it's going to help someone, share it with someone. We appreciate that too. It's just about growing. We can continue doing what we do when we're able to pay our bills, and other people get to benefit from what we're doing. Hopefully, you think that what we're doing is valuable. Otherwise, hopefully, you wouldn't be here and be a suck up or whatever. Yeah, we'll be there again in the next Zoom hangout. Good. Oh, it says I said she's doing wonderfully and you're glad she's in the group. Yeah, I am. The only sentence I ever learned in Italian was "wanna get a drink?" That would be useful. Well, maybe you wanna go for a drink with Barbara. Who knows? Uh, we love you even if you're just rambling. Yeah, maybe I should rename these like cravings ramblings. Do what Jonathan is doing. He's calling his ramblings or something. It's quite funny. Uh, coffee. Obviously, there's a bit of a diversion between what Bot says he can do and what actually happens. Yeah, I think he's just getting confused in his mind. Like, he thinks back to the one time or whatever, I don't know, he's probably done it several times, when he quit coffee and it didn't affect him. It's just like, this time it did. So I would just use whatever happened the last time to say, yeah, this is what happened, and I seem to be reacting this way now because that's the most accurate information in my head because that happened most recently. So that's how my body responds to something in this moment. But whatever. It's like he has programmed himself to, wow, I could do it and I didn't have any problems. And then that's like a truth that he lives in, even if it doesn't happen that way every single time. I guess we're all just working differently. Maybe that's part of the autistic brain. We need more questions, guys. There's 20 people here. How many have liked the actual stream? I'm gonna have to go to YouTube and check it so that I can shout at you. No, I'm not shouting. Let's see. I haven't even liked it. Now, okay. So we are 21 and 19 likes. That's good enough. Thank you. Thank you for liking the stream. Bah. Do we have any more questions? Otherwise, we're gonna have to finish because I don't know what to ramble about. I could ramble more about Barbara and freaking awesome she is, or about the challenge. Uh, you got 21 likes on your screen. Okay, I got 24 now. I'm ahead of you. 23. Yes, I had 24. Thank you for liking it. Um, bah, I actually have a question for you guys. I know that some of you are here just because you like being here, and some of you are here because you the information. And for those of you who are here and you need information, if you could tell me, like, if there was one thing, like one thing I would do a podcast on or whatever that you think would help you massively, what would that be? Because that would help me. I mean, I'm not running out of topics to talk about, but I wanna make something, like, material that you feel like you really need, that's gonna help you and just help you move forward. So that would be awesome. Didn't I tell you why Barbara is so awesome already? Because she doesn't even fucking speak English, and she's watching my video materials. It's a 6-week course, 38 lessons, and she's doing it that's in English. She's doing it either using Google Translate or I actually they are on YouTube as well, but they're not visible. And she's using the translation that YouTube offers her, which is pretty shit at times. She's doing everything that she's supposed to do. She's doing every single exercise. When she doesn't get something, she jumps into our private forum and she asks me about it. She articulates very clearly, this is how I perceive it. Is this right? It feels like there's a disconnect here. And then I get the chance to explain it to her. We had Alex agreeing that he would help and come and actually be an interpreter for Barbara on the one-on-one calls that all my clients get, but she hasn't even done that. She doesn't need it. So I have one person right now who's also trialing doing this without my help. I want to see how effective it is because I know that Barbara is just like a firehouse. She just gets the shit done. She doesn't make any excuses. She doesn't feel sorry for herself. She's just focused on getting the results that she wants. That's why she's so fucking awesome. So I want to try this on a few more people maybe. So if you want to do this and you don't want my help one-on-one and you want to get a little bit of a discount, send me a message at pim@pimjohnson.com or on Facebook or whatever, and we can discuss that because I want to try that concept out. I want to see if this is going to work with just the group coaching because I'm all about giving you the results. I want you to succeed 100%. However, if I'm not even seeing you one to one and I can't control how much you're showing up to the group calls, I want to see if that concept also works. I realize that the failure rate is going to go up because if you're not motivated to do it, obviously it's not going to work. But for Barbara, not a problem. But I want to test it on normal people who are not like Barbara because she's just like I haven't met anyone who's that motivated and just gets going. I actually have she's not here right now, but I have another one who recently joined the program and she's there as well. She's just knocking it out. And we're gonna have to make sure that she's not relying on this motivation alone so that we can still build a skill. That's why she's so freaking awesome. Let's see. My crutch for no coffee is tea. I like to sip hot liquid and I drink tea black and weak. Yeah. And I mean, there's not a problem with that necessarily, but if you want to cut out caffeine, then you can replace that with another hot drink. Or just learn to deal with the uncomfortableness of not having it until you're used to not having it. It's just you have to retrain that. But it's up to you, obviously, or to anyone when you want to change your behavior. What do you want to change it to and why? It's like, well, I need something hot, so I'm going to change it to tea. Maybe that's not the best excuse, but if you're like, well, I just want to have a hot drink because I think that's a nice way of living, fine. But when it comes from this fear of not doing it, it's probably not the best excuse. Do you think rules in cravings or behavior modifications? What do you mean? Oh, do you think rules work in cravings or behavior modifications? Okay, I see what you're saying. Um, what kind of rules? I mean, you could make a rule for yourself that every time I have a craving, I'm going to do the work, as in I'm going to allow that craving and that's it. If that's your rule, then why not? Rule to me sounds very rigid and strict, and as if I'm breaking the rule, I have done something wrong. I prefer to use commitment. Like I am committed to doing this every time I have a craving. It's just how your brain perceives it in a more relaxed way, and like I'm committed to doing this because I want the results versus here are the rules and you need to follow them, otherwise there will be punishment. I don't think that's a good way. But depending on how you see rules and how you interpret them, you may or may not want to use that word. Here we go again with the Italian. Blah, blah, blah. Grazie, apim. Good. You're welcome. Oh my God. I'm here because I just love this community. I enjoy the interactions and because I get ideas for my own videos. Yep, which is all good. Podcast material, how to discern habits versus cravings and best practices for each. Okay, let me write that down. Uh, to be honest, I'm going to give you a very quick answer here. Um, the work is the same. It's just that a habit is not going to be as long lived. It's going to be easy for you to change a habit, and there are tricks that you can use to change a habit that might not necessarily work for um, a craving that is coming from addiction. So a craving is still a habit that you have learned, but the what the reason for why you have that craving, where that is the same, it's like we have a bad habit to start with, and that just kind of develops into an addiction. So it depends on where on the spectrum that you are right now. How frustrating, not understand you. I feel the same way when you're posting in Italian. I'm like, don't know. I have to have Alex live on the stream to come and translate whatever you're saying or to you. It's a shame that you don't speak sign language, and he could do the sign language, but he can't. I don't think he can do that. But otherwise, you had two people talking, and that's going to be annoying. Um, just like to support as many people in space as I can. Yeah, and we appreciate all of you. I love you guys. Podcast for ways to manage emotionally when each day you set out to succeed, and then the same cravings and habits get in the way. I think I have done that many times. It feels like I'm always banging on about that. I'm going to write that down and see if I can approach it from a different perspective, maybe. Um, Ways to manage. You have to listen to me type. Sweet. Oh, and you learn something new every time you attend. What have you learned today, Master Chief? Tell us. All of you, what have you learned today? One thing that you have learned today. It doesn't have to be from the stream necessarily, but if it is, it's great. Hi, Sharon. I've talked about hiding my chocolate bars in my freezer. Ah, yes, I remember that. Uh, as an avoidance behavior to handle that craving. You said that it's not how you would deal with it, but in the book, The Way Out, Healing from Chronic Pain, they do suggest avoidance behaviors as in things that physically help, like heat or ice, rather than using the protocols sometimes. So, in the case of food cravings, for ones that are super strong or that we fail at greatly, can avoidance like hiding, guess there's more coming, not yet, can avoidance like hiding be a good strategy? I'm just going to fill in the blank here. Yes. So, what I said was like long term, I would not be dealing with it this way. It's not a way to like if you always do this and you're always hiding it from yourself, first of all your brain is going to know that it's there, so it's going to probably create more cravings. But the reason I wouldn't deal with it this way is that you are avoiding doing the work that you need to do. So you're avoiding addressing the root cause for your cravings. So what they say in the book, I agree with that. It's like sometimes when you can't, or you don't have time, or you don't want to do whatever, you don't want to do the work for whatever reason that might be. And the only way that you're not going to end up eating that chocolate is by hiding it in the freezer. Yes, you can absolutely do that. I don't recommend that you do that all the time, though. I think you should get that chocolate out of the freezer every now and then, sniff it, get the cravings, do the work, and then you can put it back if you like. It doesn't matter. And I always, I mean, I've told you guys many times, I think, I have two occurrences in my life where I get a lot of cravings. So one of them is when I'm sleep deprived. Actually, I haven't had that the last few days, which is strange, even though I've been severely sleep deprived. But usually when I'm sleep deprived, I get quite strong cravings, and they usually don't go away at all. And they are very non-specific cravings, and they're just like, you need to eat, go eat, go eat, go eat. And those cravings just want me to eat. So it could be any food. So I can deal with those. Either I can do the work, which is very ineffective in terms of getting rid of the cravings for that day. And since I know that they're not going to go away, I don't usually have time to sit and with those cravings all day long because they're going to come back, come back, come back. So I might do it once and then I'm like, okay, I've tried. Now I'm just going to go and distract myself because I know where the craving is coming from. I know it comes from sleep deprivation and I know that it's going to be gone tomorrow. The other one is usually a day or so before my period. And I'm like, it's that time of the month. So I'm going to try to sit with the craving. Sometimes they go away, sometimes they don't really, and they just keep coming back, coming back. So when that happens again, I'm like, okay, I just tell my cravings, like, I don't have time to deal with you right now. I have shit I need to do, and I just go and do it. So it's another distraction. It's just like I just get on with my day because I know that they're going to come back. And the root cause of these cravings has nothing to do with me having to retrain my brain any longer. I have already done that. This is purely hormonal or purely sleep deprivation, which my brain will perceive as like an emergency. We need sugar because sugar is what's going to give us energy. And I think that's probably the difference. Now, when I've been sleep deprived, I've probably been sleep deprived because I've been stressed. So my cortisol levels have been increased and I probably not had a blood sugar issue. I haven't measured it, but that could explain why I haven't had the cravings. Versus if I'm relaxed and I'm sleep deprived, then I'm not going to have the cortisol actually making sure that I have all that sugar. So I'm going to feel tired or at least think that I am. Don't tell Barbara she's not normal. She's normal. She's just very, very focused and committed. Yeah. And that's my best clients. My best clients are committed and they're just doing it. They don't care if it's painful or whatever. They trust the process, they keep doing it, and they get the results. It's that simple. I want to interpret for Barbara. It would be fun. Yeah, I think it would be fun. Tell her in Italian. Oh, maybe you did later. You said something in Italian. Yes, commitment as opposed to rules. Excellent. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. We'll change the commitment, not rule. Yay. Too many people use breaking the rules as an excuse to give up and quit. They should be more like guidelines. Yeah. So like 95% of the time I'm gonna sit with my cravings and the other 5 is when my brain is gonna have a tantrum and I'm probably not gonna do it. So what? 95% of the time you're practicing your new habit loop, you're practicing the new behavior and building those neural pathways. 5% of the time you're not. We don't need to be 100% perfect all the time. It's not that black and white. The more you practice, the more you're going to learn this skill. If you were perfect, you might get there in 5 weeks. If you're 95% perfect, it might take you 7 weeks. Like, who cares? It's 2 weeks. It does not matter. What matters is that you don't give up and that you just keep doing it most of the time. I'm here because I love you and the community. I still learn new stuff from you. I love you too. Thank you. Yes. I believe that many people get hung up in that cycle because they have problems with integrating grace and forgiveness with regard to themselves. Yeah. Well said. Accepting the reality of one's behavior and I'm not beating oneself up is not the same as giving oneself permission to mess up. Yeah. Because one can always be forgiven. Yeah. Just Know that you are a freaking human. You have a human brain. Human brains automatically goes to chaos, disaster, everything that could go wrong because we need to protect ourselves from death. It will seek out everything that is wrong automatically. That's how we are programmed. That's how the brain is supposed to be doing things. But it doesn't serve us when we think that everything is a catastrophe. We're supposed to not have all the stresses that we have in our lives. So we need to use our brains in a bit different way, like intentionally use our brains in a specific way to not have that stress all the time. And one of those is just like accept that there is crap food everywhere. And at some point, your brain is going to be like, oh no, we need to eat it or we're going to die. And you're going to be stupid enough to believe it. I shouldn't even say that. You shouldn't say that you're stupid enough. You're just going to believe it. You're like, yeah, I probably do need that donut or I'm going to die. And then once you've eaten it, you're like, shit, what happened? Why did I believe that? Because you're human. That's it. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not like you're a weak person or whatever. It's just like you need to retrain your brain. It's all. So don't stress about it. Look at what happened. Look at how you can do it better next time and change it for the next time. That's how we learn. But we don't need to make that mean that there's something wrong with us or that we should be better people or that we're awful and all of the things that we make it mean. I've learned to keep working the program. If I don't, I won't work to help me when life stress causes severe cravings. I learned that with each video chat. Sweet. That's why we're here. Yeah, I get that about you, Tracy. No grace given here. Yeah. You're very hard on yourself and you want it to be very black and white. It's like you don't want to allow your brain to see what's in between the black and white because you think that that's going to mean failure somehow. Like you're going to go to the black rather than staying in the white. So, yeah, please consider that you're also human and you will make mistakes. All of us will make mistakes. Thanks. My brain quite well knows they are there. I did talk to one of my daughters that it may be time to take a few and put them in the cupboard. Do the work, and then if I'm okay with not eating them, give them to friends who love them and still do eat them. I was both very tired and very emotional last night after returning from a trip to see grandkids and really wanted to binge on something. But I didn't. I think I didn't want to undo success, fail right now and make the emotional issue. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to want to do that. It's like so much easier to just put them in the freezer. I can forget about them. But when you have them in cupboard, you're like, okay, I am gonna get cravings, which means that I'm gonna have to do the work, and I can't be bothered to do that right now. So that needs to be something that you decide, like, okay, maybe today isn't the right day to move it to the cupboard because I'm really freaking tired. Maybe I just decide to do it tomorrow after I had a really good night's sleep, and then I work on it tomorrow. We don't have to throw ourselves in there when the time isn't right, but there's never going to be a perfect time. But just don't make it harder by choosing a time where you're like super tired or whatever. So that might help you fail. Oh, that was following up to that. Since I learned that chocolate is high in oxalates, that got me stop nibbling goals. Now I don't feel any cravings at night. Okay, that's good. And that's all for some people. That's all they need. It's like, whoa, there are oxalates in there. I really don't need those. And all of a sudden, it changes how you think about that food. And all of a sudden, you don't even want that food anymore. It's like, well, not having that. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of my clients anyway, they just go into the gray zone where they have foods that they haven't defined as whether they are on their diet or not. It could be anything like bubbly water, or we had someone yesterday on our group call, like, well, I just had a nibble of a cookie, which is really good for me because usually I would eat a lot more than that. But now, since I'm aware and I'm doing this work, I just had a nibble. But it's like your brain is trying to trick you. That little nibble is how it gets you back into it. is how it's catching your attention. So the next time you're in that situation, you're gonna have a nibble. It's gonna remind you that last time you had a nibble, it went really well. You can probably eat the whole cookie, and then you're gonna eat the whole cookie, and then it's just gonna snowball. So we just want to change our thinking about all of the things. Like a little nibble might seem like it's very innocent, and physiologically, unless you are very sensitive to gluten or whatever, it's probably not going you're probably not going to notice it. It's not going to put any weight on. You're not going to see it on the scales. You might not see anything in your energy. It's like you just had that nibble and you still feel the same. So you think that it doesn't matter, but it does matter because you just fed the cravings. You just made sure that your cravings neural pathway was once again used and got a bit stronger again. So this is retraining the same behavior that you want to get rid of. Whereas every time you allow the craving, you're training a different pathway, which allows you to choose something different. And if you do that nibbling thing let's say you were doing every week, those cravings are never going to go away really because you're giving in to cravings constantly. So if you're going to go and nibble on cookies, plan for it and do it, but don't do it when you're craving it. Do it as part of your plan. That way you can still work on strengthening your new neural pathway without strengthening your old one and still have the same nibble. I hope that makes sense. I don't know how I got into that, but it's the way that you're thinking about the food. Like that nibble, thinking that it doesn't matter, is never going to help you. But if you're like, this is not going to help me, get rid of this behavior. If you can think that and be emotionally connected to that, that's going to help. I learned that my last vice, tobacco, is 99% habit addiction and 1% nicotine addiction. Yeah, I get absolutely nothing from smoking, but the movement is so freaking ingrained in my mind since 17 years. Yes. I mean, I know a lot of people. That's why a lot of people, when they stop smoking, it's easy to just like start chewing gum or something because they get to put something in their mouth. They get to do something with their mouth, or they just start eating sugar, which is even worse. So you could, just replace it with something else for the time being, with the goal of moving to not doing that behavior as well. So sometimes we want to take it slow and just go from, okay, the smoking behavior, now I'm going to turn that into like a chewing gum addiction for now, if you want. And then I'm going to taper that off because that's going to be easier. And meanwhile, I'm not poisoning my body with that toxic smoke. Sure, there might be some sweetness in the chewing gum or whatever, but that's probably still going to be a lot better than the tobacco. So whatever way you want to do it. Yes. When I was able to give up the idea that I was supposed to feel bad and guilty when I ate off plan, it actually empowered me. Yep. Oh, never give up, and Pim's enthusiasm is infectious. Yes, I shall infect you all. Let's do it. There's no point not doing it. Like, if you're struggling with your freaking cravings, if you know what you need to eat and you're not eating that way, why is that? Like, do something about it. I can help you if you need my help. Like, fucking join my program. I don't know why you're not in there if you have that problem. But if you really don't want to join for whatever reason, like, go and do the work rather than sit and moan about it. Like, I don't know what to do. You know what to do. I already told you what to do. I have all that material out there. I'm not hiding anything. Join the next challenge. Like, I will help you, but do something, because just sitting and moaning about it is never going to give you any results. And thinking and researching about it is not going to give you any results either. It's about doing. You need to do it, then you'll get the results. Now I'm like, rah. It can be very frustrating to watch some of you guys because I know, I don't think there's anyone here, so I'm not offending anyone. But I know there are some people, they've been like, they're not necessarily in my new group, but they didn't follow, but they've been in my old Facebook group for quite some time, and they've been to my previous challenges, and they showed up on my live streams, and it's the same old thing over and over again, year after year, and it's the struggle. And I'm like, why don't you freaking come and work with me? I can help you in 12 weeks. Like in 12 weeks, you could be done with this for life. You never have to fucking sit and moan about it and be feeling like life is sucks ass because you can't control your eating, and you can cure your inflammatory diseases because you will be able to stay on the diet that you want to be on. And instead, you just choose to moan year after year and not do anything about it. It doesn't make any sense in my head. So I can get a little bit frustrated about that. And then I'll tell you off like now and use swear words and stuff because it's craziness. You really should do something about it. Life can be so much better if you can just deal with like that one thing. If you can do what you want to do with your life, what would you do? Some of you might be like, I have no idea what I would do because you haven't even thought about it because you're so busy just thinking about food all the time. But what if you could think a little bit bigger? Where could your life go? What could you do with your life? What would be exciting to you? Like, go there. Use that as motivation to actually get out of this and do something about it. When I graduated college at 16 with 2 awards and with 3.95, my dad reminded me I got A minus in French and could have had 4, hence no grades. Well, screw you, Dad. I did my fucking best, and 3.95 is really fucking good. Right? It doesn't matter what Dad thinks. You know that you did your best. You know that you actually, I mean, A minus in French, I can't even speak French. I think that's pretty good. Something that my coach has taught me is like, because I'm a perfectionist, I like to do everything to A plus. Like that's where I want to be. I don't like anything less than A plus. I want to be perfect. I don't want anything to be anything but perfect. And they like aim for B minus, put it out in the world because if I'm not, I'm just not going to put anything out there. So this challenge that I'm going to run now is another experiment. We're going back. It might not be as good as the last one. I don't know. Or maybe it will be better. I have no clue. We're going to improvise. I'm going to try to do something that works for everyone. That means you and for me. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be perfect. And I'm probably going to show up and I'm going to fuck up with some of the technology or whatever. It doesn't matter because I'm there, I'm showing up, and I'm helping you. If I waited until I knew that everything was going to be perfect, that challenge might not happen for another 10 years. And then I'm not going to be able to help you at all. So, doesn't matter if you have 3.95 rather than 4. Like, apply that to everything in your life. It doesn't matter. Like you did what you could, you did your best at the time. That was the best that you could do. You wouldn't on purpose make sure that you got under 4. Like that's not what we do. It's just what happened. And you did your best. And I love you. You love you. You're like, I did my best because I'm so fucking awesome. Old tapes are difficult to let go of. We get trained to think that not punishing ourselves is somehow morally weak or something. Yes, for sure. And is not useful at all. Everyone, when they're being told off that you should, and otherwise you're gonna get punished, it's just the feeling of being forced to do something, and we're gonna resist it, and we're not gonna enjoy it. So what's the point of doing that when you instead could look at something that you really want to do? Like, it would be so fucking awesome if I didn't have to obsess about food, and I could just spend my time taking steps towards my dream, whatever that dream is. And be thinking about it every day. I think about my dream every day. I think about where I want to go. I visualize it and I keep working towards it. I'm not saying that my brain is like happy 100% of the time. It's absolutely not. But I have these moments every day where I'm reinforcing this behavior, where I'm reinforcing my brain to think positively about the things that I desire, to get me into a state of actually this wanting energy. I want to do this because that's going to lead me down there, which is pretty awesome. It's so different. So I'm motivating myself to do the same things that I could use punishment for doing. And I don't want to do that because that's no fun. And that's going to lead to depression probably. Let's see. We are coming up to an hour now, so you get your questions in when I'm shouting at you. Being with family in a large city billboards, restaurants, birthday cake, etc. I found myself angry with the food industry for all the crap food, most of what is in stores. I did not speak out about any unhealthy patterns I saw in the family because it was a 7-year old's birthday and because it was not the trajectory they are on. And my example was painfully clear as I sat at their table with my plate's contents. But it was difficult sitting next to my husband in the car while he ate double chocolate? Double something. Okay, you haven't posted the second one. Um, that was 5 minutes ago, so we'll see if it turns up or not. Yeah, it was difficult sitting next to him when he was eating that because you were probably thinking that I want to eat that too. That's probably it. Like, or he shouldn't be eating that in front of me because he knows how hard it's for me to resist that. So it's your thinking that is creating this like difficulty of sitting next to it. I can sit next to anyone eating chocolate and I'm like, I still don't want that chocolate. I know that it's not going to taste that good. I know that it's going to raise my blood sugar. I know that it's going to raise my inflammation. And I'm like, I want health. I want to feel good. I want to feel stable. Don't want brain fog. I want my mind to be clear. And I want to feel pretty awesome. And I feel really awesome when I'm doing this. That's where I go in my mind. So catch yourself when you're feeling really negative about someone sitting eating next to you. Like, what am I actually thinking about this? How can you turn that thinking around? The enthusiasm virus, yes. Well, I said it. Are we gonna get banned now? Okay. So this is it. This is the last one. Thank you. Appreciate you supporting nature and those in your community. And my community is the fucking best. If you're not in the Facebook group, joining our Zoom weekend hangouts. And honestly, we had a virtual coffee meetup last weekend and it was amazing. Like the energy in that Zoom, the connection between the people and how supportive they were of each other is just like amazing. So if you're not in there, if you are keto or carnivore, you know what you want to eat and you're unable to do so, you should join the Facebook group. Like join the group Life Beyond Cravings for Kick-Ass Ketovores. I'm actually going to change the name, I think, because it's not quite right. But for now, that's what it is. Join the group. Join us on those Zoom hangouts. The Zoom hangouts, I would probably enjoy if I was a participant, but because I would probably just sit and listen in because I'm an introvert. But now I need to take charge a bit because it's my Zoom. But the virtual coffee meetup, you get put in little groups in like what's it called? Like breakout rooms where you get to discuss with other people, like 2, 3 people, and it just I don't know, it was a completely different energy. When you get to talk to other people and connect with them and get to know them, it's like there's so much love in there. And even when we put everyone together in the big room, it was just a completely different vibe than is on the Zoom Hangouts, and I just absolutely loved it. And I think that that is going to spread in the Zoom Hangout as well because now people know each other better. And when we keep doing this, so I'm going to do it every month, but you really should take part of those. Um, yes, it was fabulous. Yeah, I just loved it. Tracy loved it too. Yeah, the Saturday chats are awesome, like-minded people, even if it's just chit chat, but it's getting to know. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy them. I think they're fun. We talk about crazy shit sometimes, so I really enjoy them. It's just because I am who I am, and I like uh, what is it that I like? I like the connection and the growth that is happening, that was happening during the virtual coffee meetup. So that's like another step up. It's just another level that I enjoy personally a lot more. I'm not saying that the normal hangouts are not there. They're awesome as well. It's just in a different way. It's more relaxing and just hanging out and having a good laugh. Yeah. No, most people haven't. So I'm gonna keep doing it. It's just that we need a little bit more time when we do that, so I'm not gonna do that every week. I hope to be on this Saturday, but then the next Saturday we travel again to visit the last of three children and the seventh grandchild. I'm sure it was great. Yeah, yeah, awesome and fun. Yeah, I started thinking I would not last 1 hour, and at the end I wanted more. Well, that's a good testament. It's funny because Tracy was like, "Do I need to stay the whole time?" And I was like, "Well, I would really prefer that you do that because it's like we're getting to know each other. So if you drop off and we're there to try and help each other as well and be as helpful as possible." And she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." And she was gonna leave after a while and said, "As long as you don't leave in the middle of a breakout room, fine, do it." And she was there till the end, clearly because she wanted more. So that was just an anxiety for her. And then it was like, this is fun. Like I'm gonna stay. And it was awesome. Um, okay. So that's it. Thank you for being here, and it was awesome chatting with you today, even if I was shouting at you a bit because you need to get off your ass and do something if you're not already doing something. We shall be back next week. If you want to watch me coach Jared, that is on Fridays for you guys, if you're in the US anyway. And yeah, I'll see you on the Zoom Hangout this weekend, if nothing else. Bye. And thanks for the super chats, guys, and the pairs.